everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ellen and I am the creator behind Sew and Inspire. Today we're going to be talking about everything I have sewed in 2024. If you have watched any of my previous videos like these, you may notice that the rail is looking fairly empty. And that is because, if you weren't aware, I have been very unwell. My mental health really took a turn at the beginning of last year, and it really affected my time and energy and ability to sew. But saying that and knowing the year I've had, seeing everything that I've made this year, I'm actually really proud that I've still managed to make some absolutely beautiful pieces. I was super sad to miss out on filming this video last year, so I really wanted to film it this year, whether I had absolutely loads to share or not. It's important to share the small wins as well as the big ones. Okay, I have no idea what order to do this in. I think I might just go down the rail how I've laid it out. We'll just start from this end, which you can't actually see. This definitely was one of the early makes in the year, and this is a slip over which I made for my mum in this absolutely gorgeous cobalt blue, and the fabric is super interesting. It's like a knitted wool fabric in this lovely cable pattern, which is from Fabric Godmother. I believe they still have some of these fabrics, and I love them. They're so interesting. I can't remember exactly, but I think that this guy makes these fabrics from like leftover yarn from like big factories or something. It's on their Instagram, so I apologise if that is completely wrong, but it's such a lovely fabric, and if you can't knit, then this is a great option to get that knitted look, because it literally is like a machine knit fabric. I didn't use a pattern for this. I self-drafted it from a slip over my mum already had that she really liked the fit of, and I did a kind of large folded split hem at the bottom, which I think finishes it off really nicely. It's nice and oversized, and it's a great pop of colour to add to your outfit. I will say this fabric hasn't worn very well. I'm not sure if you can tell. It's very bobbly, and definitely doesn't look very fresh, but I feel like there's nothing a deep pill couldn't fix. Next up we have my one and only t-shirt of the year. Normally I make a lot more basic t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff, but there was only one t-shirt this year, and it is this leopard print one. This one's also for my mum. The pattern I used was the, oh gosh, I've now completely forgotten the name, Hemlock tee by Grainline Studio, which is a free pattern if you sign up to their newsletter. And I love this pattern. I love the boxy oversized fit of it. It comes with short sleeves and long sleeves, I think. I did have to shorten the long sleeves because they were way too long on my mum. I'm not quite sure what happened there, because I made one for myself and they were the perfect length. But yeah, it might just be this fabric because it's a very, as you can probably tell, a very flowy jersey. This fabric is from a like department store. Is it a department store? I don't know how to describe it. Called Closh and Hamlin? Something like that. I'll put it on the screen. Unfortunately the one near us closed down, and they had such a good fabric section, which was so sad. I literally took a trip there to go back because I loved it so much the first time, and it was shut down, and I was so upset. So yeah, but I managed to grab this remnant the first time we were there, and I actually made this because I thought it would go so nicely with this. So my mum wears this as a combo all of the time. We have a very exciting piece next, and probably personal favourite for multiple reasons. and it is my autumn sweatshirt. I adore this thing. If you don't know, this year I got an embroidery machine and I'm in love with it. I embroider anything and everything that I can. I think it just makes such unique and special pieces, and this was the first kind of garment that I ever embroidered. There was a hiccup because I didn't follow the rules and used the wrong backing, so it made a massive hole in it and the machine jammed. But once we got over that and I was using the right backing, we came up with this. I got this design off of Etsy and I just think it's gorgeous. How autumnal. If you don't know, autumn is my favourite season, so I had to make an autumn sweatshirt. And this lovely sort of brick reddy orange fabric is from Purple Stitches, and it's a super thick fleecy sweatshirt fabric. It's absolutely lovely to wear and to work with. The pattern that I used for this was another self-draft. I have a shop bought sweatshirt which I absolutely love the fit of, and I drafted the pattern from that, and that is my go-to sweatshirt pattern now because I just love the fit of it. And I've graded it to bigger sizes, so I can use it for my mum as well, and it's just the perfect oversized fit sweatshirt, if I do say so myself. And then the other sweatshirt that I made this year was the exact same pattern as the orangey red one, but it's a very, very different vibe because I made it in this super lightweight French terry. All the French terries that I have previously felt have been quite stiff, but this one is so lightweight and flowy, like you can probably tell it's so flowy. And it's just perfect for the spring, and it's in this lovely lilac-y pink, and I just love it in the spring. It goes so well with leggings and stuff. My wardrobe is basically exclusively handmade sweatshirts because I've just nailed the pattern that I like, and I know the fabrics I like, and I just wear them all the time. I live in sweatshirts anyway, so to be able to make them myself just makes me so happy. Should we do a bag? Because we have a few bags this year, which is kind of new. First of all, this is actually the first thing that I sewed this year. When I was like feeling well enough to come back in the sewing room, this was the first project which I did, so it's a very special one. And it is the Oxbow tote by Noodlehead Sewing Patterns. I have never actually followed a pattern for a bag, so this was really, really nice and different. I absolutely loved the process of making this. It's kind of like shirt making. You have to really follow each step and concentrate on what you're doing, and that is like the most therapeutic kind of sewing for me. I used all fabrics which I had in my stash. The only things I had to buy was the webbing and the zip and all of the hardware for the bag. I made the smaller version of the Oxbow tote. It also comes in a weekend size, which I really do want to make. Yeah, I thought these fabrics went really well together, and then I decided to pick out the pink in the flowers in the webbing, which I think works really, really well. And then I lined it with pink, and it also has like a really good big pocket inside as well. Honestly, if you're new to bag making and you like this bag, I would 100% recommend this pattern. There is also a YouTube sew along, which if you're a visual learner like me was super helpful. I made this one for my mum. I don't really make many things for myself, as you can probably tell. I just love making for other people. As I said, the fabric is just stash. I have no idea where it's from. Some of it was given to me, so I have no idea where it's from. But I got all of the gold hardware from Jenny Stitches, and If she'd have had this colour webbing in stock, I would have got that from her too. But I think I ended up getting the webbing from somewhere called Frumble Fabrics, I think. Okay, moving on to one of my proudest makes of the year. It is the Marnie Blouse by Tilly and the Buttons in this beautiful viscose, which was from the new craft house. I don't believe they have this anymore because this was a remnant, but it is absolutely stunning. This was definitely one of the most, it wasn't necessarily difficult, but it was one of the most like brain challenging makes that I made this year, to do all these pin tucks, because I had never done anything like this before, and I just think they turned out so beautifully and add such a lovely detail to the blouse. I love that it has gathers, it's super flowy. I did make a modification to the sleeves though. In the pattern there's a few different options for sleeves, and that another thing I love about the Marnie is that there are so many different options. You can add like a little ruffled collar, you can do no pin tucks, you can really customize it, which I really love. And although there are different types of sleeves you can do, I was working with how much fabric I had. So what I did for the sleeves was the like top bit of the sleeve, I just extended that straight down to be the full length of the sleeve, and then did the cuff as instructed, but also added the pin tucks at the bottom of the cuff as well, where normally they're at the top of the sleeve before it puffs out into a big sleeve. But I didn't have enough fabric for the big sleeve, so that is what I did instead, and I think it turned out so lovely. My mum wears this a lot for work and she just loves it. She feels really good in it, it's super comfortable, and I really want one for myself. I really want a Marnie dress. I think that is in my future. Another beautiful blouse that I made this year was this gorgeous one. This was actually the one of Fabric Godmother's dream wardrobe boxes, which my mum treated us to. It's an us because I get treated because I get to sew it, and then she gets treated because she gets to wear the gorgeous garment. And this month's box was this absolutely beautiful strawberry pink viscose linen. I've been wanting to try a viscose linen for absolutely ages, so I was so excited when I found this in the box. And I think the strawberries are just so fun, so spring, summer. It's just so, like, this is just so happy. How can you be sad when you look at this? The pattern for this is the Raida blouse by Madswick. I had never heard of this pattern company before. I'd never seen this blouse before, but I absolutely love it. It's like a circular yoke blouse with this gorgeous ruffle on the yoke, and then it has these really lovely tuck details on the massive puffy sleeves, and then it goes into a bound cuff. There were again lots of different options in this pattern, but I went with the one with buttons down the front, but I believe there's one without buttons as well. And you can also do short sleeves. It's super customizable. I think this would really shine in a plain fabric, but I also think it's just such a lovely, gorgeous statement piece in a fabric like this. I had never ever sewn anything like this before with like this circular yoke, and it was just really nice to learn something new. Okay, apologies if the lighting or my hair or anything is a bit different. I suddenly came to the realization that I had missed out such a key piece which I made last year, and that is the Dunya jacket by Fibre Mood. This was one of my favourite makes from the year. I can't believe I forgot it but I just had to come on and show you because it's one of my favourites. I made it out of this pre-quilted corduroy, which is just gorgeous. It is like double-sided, and it is so thick and cozy and just perfect for a jacket. This gorgeous fabric is from the Fabric Boutique. When we saw they got this fabric in, we just had to get some. So I settled on making the Dunya jacket, but I did make quite a few modifications, and the sun has now suddenly decided to come out. Brilliant. The main modification which I made is that I didn't line it, because this is already like a double thickness, double-sided fabric. Lining it would just have been way too much. So what I did to accommodate that was I extended the front bodice pieces so that I could then fold it over to make the button placket, and then I bound this placket and sewed it down, and then I also sort of did a binding on the hem, because obviously there should have a lining, so it's only a 1 centimetre seam allowance. So what I did was I just sewed the binding onto it, folded it up 1 centimetre, and then sewed it down, and it's created a really, really lovely finish. It has these gorgeous big patch pockets, which are just so handy. And the other modification I made was that I didn't do the sleeve cuff. I just wasn't really a big fan of it, so I just extended the sleeve and just hemmed it the same way as I hemmed the bottom of it with some binding. And yeah, I also bound the seam where you put the collar in as well. And yeah, I think that covers everything. But I love it. I made this, as I said, I made this for my mum, and she has got so much wear out of it. It's this gorgeous navy, so it just goes with everything, and it's super warm and cozy. Next up we have a super quick and easy make, and it is this gorgeous gingham tiered gathered skirt, which I made for my mum for her birthday. How many of these items are actually for me? 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are for me. I managed to get this skirt out of 1.5 meters of fabric, which I think is amazing. And this fabric is a double-sided gingham double gauze. Double gauze is one of my absolute favourite fabrics. I think I have 3 dresses in double gauze. I just love it for the summer. So when I thought there was a double-sided gingham double gauze, I was very excited. And me and my mum had had our eye on it for ages, and she said to me, oh, that would look so nice in a tiered skirt with each side as one tier. And I was like, noted. So for her birthday, that is what I made for her. I did not use a pattern for this. Literally, it was so simple. All I did was I used the width of the fabric for the first tier, made a waistband the same width, and then when you thread the elastic through, it kind of creates the gatheredness. And then for the second tier, I cut 2 pieces the width of the fabric, so double the length of the first tier, and gathered them on, hemmed it, and you've got a skirt. Super quick and easy. I think I made this in like definitely less than an hour, and she loves it. I did it in a navy, so it would like kind of go with everything and just be a super staple piece in her wardrobe, and she wore it so much over the spring and summer. I cannot remember for the life of me where I got this fabric from, but I know for a fact Higgs & Higgs sell it, definitely. The other skirt which I made this year was this brown corduroy ankle length skirt, also for my mum. And this, again, I didn't follow a pattern. I kind of used the pattern that I had for a base, but didn't follow it at all. I did pockets, like kind of jeans pockets would be in the front, and then for the waistband it's a kind of a half and half, so the front doesn't have any elastic in it, and then the back has elastic in it, so it's super comfy. And then I think I only had 1.5 meters of this fabric, and it was a bit of a squeeze. So I did a slit in the back because it's obviously just a straight skirt, so if you don't have a slit you won't be able to walk. But I didn't have enough fabric to do a slit in kind of like the proper way that you should do a split. So what I did was, I know this might sound really weird, but I was racking my brains what I could do with the amount of fabric I had, and I was like, why don't I do like a button placket as for the slit? And it worked wonders. It worked perfectly. I am so chuffed with it. Let me see if I can show you a bit closer. Sorry, it's a bit creased. So yeah, as you can see, it's literally a button placket. How you would do a button placket, I followed the instructions for a button placket from the Jenna shirt from Closet Core Patterns. Really, I've only done one other button placket for a shirt. It's not button placket, is it? It's like a cuff placket, you know what I mean. And I much prefer how it's done in the Jenna shirt. Little hack for you, I guess, if you're running short on fabric and want to do a kind of skirt like this, give it a try because it works great. I think it's a really nice detail on the back of the skirt. I believe this fabric is also from Higgs & Higgs. I got it at Alexandra Palace, not last year but the year before, and I believe it was from Higgs & Higgs. Okay, let's do my other bag for the year. I made my mum the Bestie bag by Blackbird Fabrics for Christmas out of this gorgeous Liberty ripstop, which is from the new craft house. I have had, well, we have had our eye on this fabric for ages. I knew I wanted to make my mum a bag in it, so that is what I did finally for Christmas this year, and she absolutely loves it. I have never used a ripstop fabric before, and it is a lot like thinner than I was expecting it to be, so I am not super happy with how this bag turned out, but it's okay. It's okay. I just think it would have been better if it had a bit more structure, so I wish I had like quilted it myself. But that is the only thing about this bag which I don't love, but I am really happy with it, and she still wears it, she still loves it, and she still uses it loads. So the Bestie bag is just such a great pattern if you're looking for these kind of, I don't even know what to call this kind of bag, but like, you know, the kind of bags that everyone and their mother has at the moment that are super popular. The Bestie bag is a great option. It has 2 pockets on the inside. One is like split in 2, and then the other one is a bit smaller on this side. And the way it's constructed is just amazing. It's honestly, it's such a great pattern. And then I had enough fabric left over to make my mum a matching shopping bag, which I just think is so cute. Look at this little guy. I'm super pleased with him. I used the free pattern from Rosery Apparel. I will try and link as much as I can in the description box, but it was in one of her gifts to make videos, I think. And yeah, she has a free pattern, and it's like the perfect lip size of shopping bag. And then I did black binding around all the edges. I think I'm going to do the 2 pairs of trousers which I made next, because I want to save the dresses till last. So I made my mum and I some double gauze trousers this year. I've been wanting a pair of double gauze trousers for ages. I just think they're so perfect for the spring and summer to just chuck on and be comfy. Comfort is key for me, you will probably come to realise. I actually made mine right at the end of summer, so I haven't actually had a chance to wear mine yet, but I made mine in this really lovely black double gauze. Again, I'm sorry I didn't follow a pattern for these. I just self-drafted them from a pair of trousers which I really like. They have little pockets on the side because you gotta have a pocket. What is the point in having a pair of trousers without pockets? And yeah, they're just basic straight leg kind of. They taper slightly because I don't like super wide leg trousers. It's just not my vibe. They're the kind of the perfect amount of floaty but tapered trousers in my eyes. So yeah, I can't wait to actually wear these this year. And then my mum's I did in this beautiful sage green double gauze, and hers are literally the same, but I added a little drawstring because I think that really made it. I don't know why I didn't do that on mine. I just didn't feel like it, so I didn't. And I think hers are a bit more wide leg than mine, but she wore these so much. I made these for her like early summer, I think, and we didn't have the best summer here, so double gauze trousers were perfect for the majority of the summer, and she wore them so much. Although I do need to do a bit of a repair on these because there seems to be a little hole where the elastic is. I must have just not caught that side of the waistband quite enough, which is so annoying, but that's a pretty easy fix, so I'll get them fixed for her. Oh, and the fabric for these are from Dalston Mill. They had it at a really good price. I think it was like £5 a metre for these two, so we snapped them up, and I think I have enough of mine left to make a pair of shorts as well. Okay, we're down to the final two things. So the first one is a dress for my mum. How stunning is this? Like, it is such a statement. This is just kind of sums my mum up. She just is a bright ball of light in everyone's life, and yeah, I just love this dress. It's just, again, pure joy. It is just quite a simple dress because I felt like you needed a simple dress to kind of let the fabric do the talking. The fabric is just a cotton, a dobby cotton with these really lovely raised dots. I absolutely love these kind of fabrics. And then it just goes down into a gathered skirt, and then it has a little like peplum on the bottom, which I love. This is one of my favourite ways to do like a long tiered skirt, to do a little ruffle on the bottom if you don't quite have enough fabric to do like a full 2 tiers. It's a great way to just add a little bit of interest and dimension rather than just like a straight long skirt. And then it has really nice puffy sleeves with bound edges, and then it ties at the back, which is my favourite way to do a dress or a top. The pattern which I used for this was, for the bodice anyway, was the Fabric Godmother Fleur. I am so excited to make an actual Fleur this year. I also hacked the pattern to cut the front bodice on the fold and remove the ties, but it was an absolutely great base for the bodice and the sleeves and stuff. And yeah, I just then adapted the front and the neckline to just be bound with the ties at the back. We're on to our final thing, which I sewed in 2024, and it's a very special one. This is my birthday dress. It was my 18th birthday in 2024, so I had to make a dress for the occasion. And when I saw this fabric, I fell in love with it. I knew that that was going to be my birthday dress. It's just me in a fabric. Have you ever seen anything more me? I'm not sure this colour suits me the best, but I don't care because I love it. And it's got these gorgeous white embroidered flowers on it, which I think is stunning. This fabric we got from Purple Stitches, one of my favourite fabric shops. You would have heard their name mentioned quite a few times. They're really local to us, and they do absolutely amazing haberdashery and loads and loads of quilting cottons and a really great selection of dressmaking fabrics too. The pattern I used for this dress was the Pansy dress by Rosery Apparel, my absolute favourite go-to everyday dress pattern. I love it. I think I have 3 now. I just love the fit, it makes me feel good. It has the tie at the back as well, which is my favourite. It has puffy sleeves and then a beautiful gathered skirt. Mine is knee length because I'm not really a long dress person. I feel like they kind of swallow me up and I look a bit frumpy in them. So they're not my favourite. I much prefer a knee length myself. This fabric is like a really like nice washed kind of cotton, so it has a really nice texture to it and it's just super comfy to wear. Yeah, I loved it. I wore it on my birthday with so much pride and felt really good in it. Aside from a few gifts which I made this year which I haven't mentioned, that is everything that I sewed in 2024. As I said, it's been a much slower year, but I am super proud of everything that I've managed to make this year, despite these struggles which I've gone through and how I've been feeling for the majority of the year. If you too are also in a hard patch of life, just be kind to yourself and don't beat yourself up if you can't get in the sewing room as much as you might like to. Things come in ebbs and flows. You will get back to it. You will be okay again. That's something that I really had to hold on to this year, that this too shall pass. I would love to know what your favourite was from what I have made this year, and I would love to know what your favourite thing you made this year was. Thank you so much again for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!